This next question is of particular importance for those of us who have younger children. Dear Rob, how do my husband and I go about making sure that my sister will become guardian for our children if something were to happen to us? So, many of you out there, I'm sure, have done the jot a note before you leave for vacation and leave that behind and hope that if something did happen, this would be adequate. Unfortunately, that really is not enough. The way to properly nominate guardians in the state of Illinois is through a proper guardianship nomination, which is contained in a will. In that case, a court will give overwhelming consideration to your nomination. However, please be aware, this is very important and it surprises a lot of people. In Illinois, you are nominating guardians. You are not appointing them. And the difference is that in Illinois, if something were to happen to you and there were a guardianship proceeding initiated, the court would still take the best interest of the children into consideration. By that I mean, in most cases, they're still going to give them to the people you nominated. But if, for instance, something changed and made those people that you've chosen unfit for guardianship, then they would allow guardianship to go somewhere else. There are some states that simply rubber stamp every parental nomination. Illinois is not one of them. It's about a 50-50 split. Most parents are reassured, though, that they know that the court will at least give some scrutiny to their choice. This is very useful if, for instance, you select somebody who in the year you select them might be a great choice, but maybe 10 years later something has happened in their life to make them unfit. The court is there to operate as a safeguard to make sure that the people that do ultimately end up with your guardianship are properly suited to be guardians. So, if you do have children, you should absolutely at least have a will, and in that will, you should absolutely nominate guardians. Now, I also recommend you have a backup option. So if, for instance, you're going to pick your sister, then you pick a brother-in-law as a backup or a sister-in-law as a backup. That's because if the court did run into a situation where your first choice was unfit, or if for some reason the first choice can't or won't do it, you have gotten to participate in the process of picking a secondary option rather than leaving it to the court and the surviving family to work it out amongst themselves. So do a guardianship appointment in a will and make sure you contain in that guardianship appointment, you include a backup option as well.